Hey Dylan, it is Coach Jay Heiler here. I am in your program. You started with the Jay Heiler Project 6-8, so the week of 6-8, and now we are all the way down to where we are into the week of the 6th, okay? So the goal here is really quite simple, okay? It's really quite simple. You have gone through 1, 2, 3, 4 total weeks, which means that this week is your nutrition consultation. And what I want to do here is just really quickly, I want to show you what your nutritional strengths are in these days, and then what your nutritional weaknesses are in these days. So starting the 8th, for your body weight and size, you're currently low in protein on Monday, and you can see that here at the top looking at protein. I'm going to scroll down because that's the only thing that matters up there. Everything else naturally reoccurs. And then you are low in potassium, vitamin A, C, and calcium, but you are strong on iron. Okay, we know what you're strong in based off of you being able to get into the red is what I call it. When you're in the red, that means you're over and above the recommended daily allowance for it. Okay, and I like to see all of these categories: iron, calcium, vitamin C, A, potassium, as well as protein in the red. The carbohydrates, the fiber, and the fat, they align themselves properly when you have the proper things going into your body, which is what we're going to help you do past this day. And I'm going to have you do an assignment called Foods I Love, but we're going to get into that in a second. Now, moving on to Tuesday the 9th, you were low in protein and you were low in all of the micronutrients, which is sodium and down. Okay, you're very high in sodium. And then on down, you're low on all of these. See, sodium is okay. It's a great electrolyte. But when sodium is high and you don't have enough potassium or magnesium going through the body, then it really doesn't matter, because now you're basically putting your body in a state where it has to hold water. Okay, and that's not a healthy thing. That can also raise cholesterol, blood sugar, blood pressure, everything. All right, so we want to make sure that we always have all of the ones from potassium and down in alignment, as well as the protein, and then the fat is going to align itself with the proper amount of monosaturated, polyunsaturated, and saturated fat. Okay, now Wednesday, again, it looks like protein is going to be a toughie for you. This is going to be a weakness for sure, as well as all of the micronutrients, and that's not uncommon, okay? The recommended daily allowance for potassium is actually 4,700 milligrams, and I will change that in your MyFitnessPal now since we'll be getting more specific with things, but it's 4,700 milligrams. You're at 190, my friend. So you are tons off, and this is very common, okay? Thursday, doing a little bit better in protein, but still very, very low for your size. At currently, last time we checked, you were in the 150s or so. So you should be getting around like 130 to 150 grams of protein every single day without fail. And that has never happened, not even yet in between these days. Okay. And then we go down to our micronutrients. You can see that those are low. So essentially what you're doing is, as a practice before you join the project, you've been eating food, yes, but the density has not been there. So I can literally go for every single day and you'll see that mostly the protein, the potassium, vitamin A, C, calcium, and iron is low. And why these things matter to me so very much is that when you hit these categories, you actually hit the other categories as well. All we need to do is support you with supplementation, okay? And I'm going to talk with you about supplementation actually in the next few minutes here. Just wanted to walk you through this nutrition consultation of what you actually need to know, not the stuff that does not matter. Because what you actually need to know is what's going to give you longevity, okay? So I'm just literally clicking from one to the next. You can see that protein and all of the micronutrients, which is potassium, vitamins, calcium, and iron, consistently low. Now, this is one day, which is the 24th, which we saw here, that you got decent amount of protein. This is the protein on the low is what you should get is 130. On the high, it should be 150, okay? So you actually almost, you did a pretty good job, but it's on the low. But still, of course, we see no density in the micronutrients. And then we go down for a whole another amount of days where it's the same exact thing. Same exact thing, man. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. But on July 1st, you were high in vitamin A, which means you had more vegetables and you had more fruits in this day in general, okay? Then we have protein low. Again, you did well on iron, above and beyond it, which means you probably had a lot of non-heme iron, which is iron that comes from a vegetable. And then we go all the way to the 4th. Of course, everyone sucked on the 4th. That doesn't have a strategic plan. And that brings us to almost to today. See, iron, you did well again. Okay. So let's take a look at Tuesday, just real quick to show you. Because remember, you did well on iron. Nothing else, but you did well on iron. And we're going to show you why. So it's probably going to be non-heme iron. So that's the 7th, okay? So Tuesday the 7th, why did you do well on non-heme iron? So you had the lemonade, that's not where it's going to come from. The breadsticks, you had the Southwest chicken tornado from Quick Trip. You had the hash browns. So let's determine where this iron came from. Okay, so this has 16% iron in it. It's not terribly good, but it's okay. But it has 16% of iron. So that's how that happened, okay? Literally. It's going to be that salad. It's going to be the first thing. The cheese-filled breadsticks, I don't believe so, but it is, oh my gosh, 120% of your recommended daily amount of iron needed. That's incredible. From the breadsticks. So that's definitely non-heme iron, like I said it would be. And I've just been doing this for a long time, so I can just kind of pick this stuff out, man. But that's your nutrition consultation. It's very basic. Essentially, what you have to understand is you are low in protein and your micronutrients, which is what I see for most people, okay? Now all we have to do is discover what your goal needs to be calorically based on your daily needs, and we call that physical activity. So based off of the amount of walking you do, all the boxes and crap that you lift at your job, and everything that you do from a physical standpoint, that is going to determine the calories now. Okay, so hopefully this makes sense. I like to keep nutrition consultations very simple. And now we're actually going to enter in to where you have the Foods I Love assignment, where you will truly get everything you need now, because we're going to create a meal plan around the foods that you actually love. And we're going to pay attention to the proteins, the potassiums. We're going to pay attention to the iron, the calcium, and the vitamin A and C, and make sure you're supported through the proper supplementation. So you have a balanced diet. So everything that we do with the workouts, it's actually going to change your physique. Going to give you strength, let you sleep better, have better digestion, have better energy, stress management, everything. And we will then be meeting once a week to go over these things in our fire call to make sure you are 100% supported in every single way. Let me know if you have questions.